um, our national talk show radio uh, brand and platform. All right, so they said that we're live on YouTube. YouTube has always been letting. It's always been the problem when we come on, man. YouTube like to take my live off. ScrewTube like to do a lot of stuff, but we're on air. We're good now. All right, so today we're talking about letting white supremacy control your emotions. That's the topic. And of course, a lot of black people, as we've been saying, they be out here. Black people like to really play dumb, you know. They like to play dumb with white supremacy. They like to really play dumb because they think that it's all fine and good that the white supremacists are running things, and since white mommy and white daddy is running things, oh, we can go out and play. And you got black men doing the same thing. Oh, we can go out and chase panties. We can go out to the club, strip club, because see, white mommy and white daddy, they're handling everything for us, you know. Okay. So they really don't see themselves having to do anything. Hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. The number to call in is 516-418-5867. If you want to speak to the host, 516-418-5867. We're coming on late tonight. Yeah, I had some business to take care of course. And then daylight savings time, it really got me all crazy and stuff. Had me all discombobulated. But we're going to continue this conversation on Hollywood, on Sharon Osbourne and I'm sorry, Sheryl Underwood and Sharon Osbourne. We're going to continue that conversation, but it also brings me to my point as to how white supremacy control your emotions as black people. You see, we basically have to understand how they're able to control your emotions. You understand? A black woman holding back her tears so she won't get fired from these white supremacists on the job. See, we have to be able to understand how the control of our emotions basically is controlled by the white supremacists. Because you know that they will fire your ass if you basically get out of line. You understand? So that's what we're talking about today. But again, we're going to have that subject here in just a moment. But we're going to be going to some breaking news here. And I always like to talk about what's going on to let y'all know what the white supremacists are up to. We in the black media, we do a good job in letting the white supremacists know what everything been up to. Man, here in Atlanta, they were reporting that 8 Asian women, I think it was 7 Asian women, and 1 man is dead. But I think they're saying that it was all Asian women. But let me look at this report here. 8 people. And a white captain, came out under fire for his recent post as well. Okay. And see, the white supremacists, every time they shoot and kill and commit crime, they have to blame it on something. It has to be, oh, they had a bad day. This is what this white supremacist said when he shot these 8 Asians. You see, we've been trying to tell you that it's not black people attacking Asians. It is the white supremacists who've been out here doing that. Okay? We have not been attacking the Asians. 8 dead in Atlanta area spa shooting. Suspect arrested. Federal agents on Wednesday joined the investigation into the shooting at 3 Atlanta area spas that left 8 people dead Tuesday evening. The attack began around 5 p.m. when 4 people were killed in Afworth, a suburb north of Atlanta, authorities said. Less than an hour later, 4 women were killed in 2 shootings in Atlanta. The victims in Atlanta appears to be Asian women, as were 2 of the victims in Afterward, officials said. Authorities arrested a suspect, Robert Aaron Long, 21, of Woodstock, after a brief manhunt. Cherokee County Sheriff's Captain Jay Baker said investigators were working to confirm the shooting were related. The FBI was assisting the local investigation, the agency said earlier Wednesday. No other details were released after the FBI involvement. The Atlanta Police Department scheduled a 10:30 a.m. press conference to discuss the case. Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms said in a statement that the crime against any community is a crime against us all. You see, I commend law enforcement to their quick work in arresting a suspect in the tragic shooting, she said. I had remained in close contact with the White House and the APD as they work with federal, state, and local partners to investigate the suspect who was responsible for this senseless violence in our city. White House Press Secretary Jan Psaki said President Joe Biden was briefed overnight about the horrific shooting in Atlanta. White House officials have been in touch with the mayor's office and will remain in touch with the FBI, Psaki said. South Korea foreign minister told NBC News that 4 of the women who died were Korean origin, but their nationality have yet to be verified. Authorities did not provide additional details or identify information about other victims, nor did they disclose a suspect's motive. We are very stages of this, Atlanta Police Chief Rodney Bryan said. So here we go again. We've been telling you that the white supremacists have been attacking Asians. Meanwhile, while Asian men in these beauty salons or beauty shops and stores have been attacking black women, here come these white supremacists opening fire on you. You see, and the white supremacist at 21 years old is basically saying, "Oh no, I had a bad day," and and so now he's going for that psychological issue. He have a psychological problem. He's going, "Oh, I'm crazy." He is now in that phase now. You see, so all across the country now, Asian people are being aware that the white supremacists are the one who's after them. Black people are not in these stores throughout the country attacking anybody. You see, and the white media is also responsible for this as well, because they're the one that built this propaganda up for this white supremacist to go and shoot these Asian people. The white supremacist media is responsible. So we're going to basically understand people that looking at the areas of what's going on in this society. I think one of the things we have to understand is that it is a responsibility of us within our communities to not really, hold back on understanding when propaganda exists. Propaganda in the media inspires the white supremacists to go out and shoot and kill based upon the fact that the white supremacists are the ones who are basically telling folks, yeah, what I'm saying, Asians are being attacked here, they're being attacked there. And so the real white supremacists say, yeah, well, we're going to go out there and we're going to attack the Asian community. And that's what they do it. And then black people get the blame for it. So if black people are getting the blame for it, and we see clear as day is that this white supremacist who basically came out of nowhere and says, I'm gonna just go on a rampage and shoot 8 Asian people. You see, now we know and we understand who the real attackers are. But we can't tell all of the other people from the buffer class who is the real problem. Okay? They're still saying it's black people. You understand? All right. So that is the problem here that we're talking and discussing, but we're going to be later on talking about letting white supremacy control your emotions. Okay? So hold your phone calls here. Um, it is a subject matter that we wanted to pick up on from last week when we talked there about Sharon Underwood, obviously Sheryl Underwood and Sharon Osbourne, or Sheryl Underwood rather, and Sharon Osbourne. We're going to dive into that as well. We're going to dive into the conversation like anybody else. But these people who have basically was murdered and killed by the Asians, by the white supremacists, why isn't the Asian community denouncing white supremacy? They are still out here confused. And even that Jenny Ma from The Real, she came out and talked about it. But at the end of the day, she starts saying we got to have protection from black people. Wait a minute. This guy who killed these Asian people was not black, Jenny Ma. This was a white supremacist, in which y'all hate and refuse to talk about and discuss. Because when you're refusing to discuss what the white supremacists are doing to you, that's a problem. So we're going to be talking about that today on the Lawyer Henderson show. We'll take your phone calls later on in the show because I want to really get this out. I want to really set in stone um, this dialogue that we have to have. Okay, so we'll take calls almost at the end of the program. All right, so let's go with this. Okay, we have again the story that we had last week. Okay, we had the discussion between Sharon Osbourne and Sheryl Underwood going on. And Sharon Osbourne wanted Sheryl to educate her. You see, the white supremacists always want you to educate them. They like to play dumb with their racism. And black people, like I said, play dumb with them. You also have these black conservatives out there, they do the same thing. We basically try to rationalize certain types of things that white supremacists do to us. And we have to hold in our emotions like Sheryl had to do in order for us not to be fired by these race soldiers. Oh, we're going in deep today. We're going in deep. We're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it. Thumbs up button. Thumbs up. Okay, so we're back here after the music break. We're talking about letting white supremacy control your emotions. The incident between I don't call it an incident because you see CBS News, ABC, NBC, all of these studios, they have a habit of protecting white people that on their shows. They have a habit of making sure that the white person is protected. Now, Sharon Osbourne did say that she'll know whether or not she's coming back. That's not a decision by her, though. I mean, by the CBS. That's a decision that she's trying to determine whether or not she's going to come back. And she said one of the executives basically put her up to this, in which I don't believe that's the case. You know, yes, executives do try to push hard so that the person of the show could bring controversy. I get that, but I don't think though that she should have went on and just kept on talking and running her mouth, even when Sheryl was trying to take a commercial break. But here we have to understand something, okay? Because before the break, like I said last week, Sheryl Underwood had to hold back tears. She started then going on when she was interviewed not too long ago. Now she had to start doing a little bit of mammy splaining. Oh, I held back the tears and I had to, and this is a person who I consider my friend. You see, they start mammy splaining. And this is what Sheryl Underwood was doing. She was mammy splaining. Because she knows as a black woman, look, you have to know your role when white mommy and white daddy say things. Okay? And like I told you, the ideal is that when the white supremacists are controlling your emotions, you have to hold back tears. You have to basically control your emotions. You have to be mute. And if you don't hold back your tears, and if you don't control your emotions, nigga, you out the door. And so this is not the first time that Sheryl Underwood, not Sheryl, but Sharon Osbourne had controversy with her co-host. Going back to again, let's go back to again a lot of other people as well. We're going to what's this Holly Robinson Pete. What did she say about Holly Robinson Pete as well? Okay. She said that she thought that Holly Robinson Pete was too ghetto. You understand? Being too ghetto, and then the next day and two or whatever, you're gone from the show. That's crazy. She made a little bit of, remarks from her old co-workers as well. You know what I mean? All right. Let's go to the phones. Area code 843. You're live with Lawyer Henderson. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, hey, how you doing? My name is Zachary. Thank you for having me on. I respect your opinion. I would like to talk to you. I mean, I consider myself a white nationalist. And I think your show topic is very disingenuous.
Okay.
The fact that you would have to say, don't let white supremacists control your emotions, and that implicates that the black people are a race, or they're a nation, they're a people. So, what is so wrong with white people identifying as a people or collective and wanting to better their own people when you want to do that for blacks?
Okay, here's the problem. Okay, white supremacy.
I can hardly hear you.
You can't hear me? You say you cannot hear me?
It's very low.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask you to repeat your question again.
So, okay, I can hear you there. So your show topic says, don't let white supremacists control your emotions.
Right.
So that's clearly stating that there's a people outside of white people. So what I believe you're trying to do is better the black community and how to think for themselves and how to promote themselves. But when you say by doing that, you're promoting collective activity and collective activism. And for you to come onto a radio show and have the right to talk to black people as a black man and say, oh, I care about the black community in this way, that's the same way as me being a white boy coming onto the radio and saying, hey, I believe white people should stick up for white people and white culture is beautiful and white ideas are beautiful. But I'm not allowed to do that. Only one of us is allowed to do that. So I would love to know how white supremacy is hurting the black community besides this bullshit example of systematic racism that doesn't exist.
No. It does exist. White supremacy does exist. And to answer your hold on. You asked me a question. Wait a minute. You asked me a question, sir. This is my. Excuse me. I'm answering your question. Are you gonna let me answer it, or I can let you go?
Let me answer your question.
Okay, wait. You've already asked me one. Can I answer the first one?
When it comes to
Well, hold on, sir.
I can't hear you.
Hold on. All right, this is my show, number one. Number two, you asked me a question, and I'm trying to answer it. Okay? This is my show. You called me. So... Okay, so you cannot hear me. Okay. All right, well, I will let you go, and then I will answer your question. Okay? Since you can't hear me. When white supremacists, and I don't know if you want or not, but when y'all are promoting white supremacy, you have a whole system behind you. You understand? Black people do not have a whole entire system behind them. And that system right now, as we speak, is corrupt. It does not follow its own laws. Y'all have a whole system. That's the reason why it make it racist. Okay, you basically can go out there and accuse me of something, and then basically you'll have police officers believing you because you are a white man, and then you have a whole system. You have a whole system that basically backs you up. Black people don't have that. Go ahead.
When a black man scored 50 to 75 points lower when it
No. The black person who gets that's okay. You're talking about now. You want to talk about college and education. Okay, when a black person is going to a Harvard, when a black person is going to a Harvard and a Yale, and there's so-called affirmative action, don't you know who's benefited from affirmative action? Who has benefited from affirmative action, sir? It has been white women. White women has benefited from affirmative action. It has not been black people.
This fucking monkey is so dumb he doesn't even know how to work his own show, and his audio is so shit. You can't even hear what he's saying.
Okay, sir, I'm gonna let you go. You basically, it's now disrespecting, and I don't like cowards coming on my show telling me what.
Well, I mean, if you want to run a show, if you want to run a show, don't blame the white man when you can't run.
I'm blaming what you mean I'm blaming the white man? I'm blaming you. You're the one who came to my show and asked me a question, and then I answered it. No, I answered it. No, I answered it. I mean, you called into my show asking me a question.
Same way the white man came to Africa and gave you the wheel. You didn't even have the wheel. You had guns and gunpowder.
All right, sir. All right, hey, sir. Since you can't hear me, sir. Since you can't hear me, sir. Since you cannot hear me, would you like to do a Zoom on YouTube? Okay. Would you like to do a Zoom with me on YouTube since you can't hear me? Huh? Would you like to do a Zoom so we can let you know? Everybody can. We basically listen.
Nigeria. No one's talking.
Look here. You're full of crap. Are you going to show your face or not? Okay, I'm showing my face. Are you going to show your face or not? Are you going to show your face or not? I'm inviting you to a Zoom, YouTube. I'm inviting you to a Zoom, YouTube. I'm inviting you to a YouTube Zoom 101 discussion.
I would love to do that. I would love to do
Okay,
that.
so you're gonna agree. You're gonna agree with this, and are you going to agree not to? Hold on. Are you going to agree not to just keep ranting and to bring some sensibility to the argument? Okay, because right now you're talking over me, and you're supposed to be the intelligent white man, but you're talking over me. I cannot hear you say anything. Like you said, you cannot hear me. That's fine. What we're gonna do is, I got your number, I got your information. I'll have my producer, or I'll call you, and we can set up a discussion on YouTube, on YouTube Live, so that we can let people see who you are. You understand the difference between me? The difference between me and you is people see me. They don't see who you are. Okay, that's all I need. All right, but I got another caller, sir. But we will get you. We got your information here. We'll call the number you called in. I got that information. Who should I ask for, sir? Who should I ask for? Hello? I said, who should I ask for when I make that phone call? Who should I ask for? Huh? Zachary. Okay. All right. So y'all heard it live. Me and Zachary is going to set up a time because Zachary do not agree that we should get reparations. Zachary is saying that there's no white supremacy and it doesn't exist. Okay. And so therefore, huh? Okay. Do I have? Did I get that wrong though, Zachary? No. Racism does not. No, racism. What do you think that this white guy who shot these Asians? Wait, was that racism? What is that? What was that? Can you enlighten me on that?
Okay. Was it racism? That black man in the Minneapolis mall threw a white kid over the banister? Was that racism?
No, it's not. No, that's not racism.
It's not racist for a black man.
Hey, okay, you given one incident, one specific incident over 8 people getting shot and killed because the white supremacist media keep on exacerbating these attacks that did not happen until this white guy shot 8 Asian guys. That's exactly what's going on here. All right, but anyway, like I said, I'll give you the call back, and we will hook up the show for me and Zachary to debate. But I thank you for your call. Let me get another call here. Let me go to area code 770. You're live with Lawyer Henderson. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, you can call me Larry. I thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I am a 69-year-old black man.
Okay.
Who, as I was growing up and visited my relatives in the South, I saw the signs that said white and colored. My relatives, having still been acutely affected by the Emmett Till murder in 1955,
right,
advised me as a young Chicagoan on how not to behave around white women because they were afraid I would not inculcate the lessons that they already knew and had learned painfully, and might get caught up in the same sort of thing.
Absolutely.
I have literally witnessed white supremacy in action. I got attacked by mobs of white boys when I lived in Chicago and was growing up, and I was going into the wrong neighborhood. My neighborhood was racially integrated. So no one has to tell me about white supremacy. I experienced it in the fifth.
Absolutely.
Being beaten on my young body.
Wow.
But let me tell you something.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you this.
Go ahead.
And this I also believe. Your premise presupposes that white supremacy in the year 2023 is a significant enough problem to warrant black people fretting about the possibility of it interfering with their emotions. I utterly reject that premise, sir. I mean, totally, absolutely, and completely. I do not think that is true.
Okay.
Now, part of the problem with this, when we try to approach it in a rational manner, which, by the way, I'm being told these days is another manifestation of white supremacy,
Sure.
to be rational, to engage in linear thought and abstract reasoning. That's another sign of white supremacy, but that's neither here nor there. Let me go on with it. This ill-defined question or attempted paint white supremacy in overbroad terms, particularly by what I term as the cultural Marxist left. For instance, white supremacy is framed as rationality, linear reasoning and thinking, punctuality, ability to organize, aspirational notions, an affinity for the nuclear family, the heterosexual nuclear family, a preference for the rule of law and constitutionality. All of these things I'm being told these days by the progressive woke-topians is an example of white supremacy. If that's true, then give me more of it. But see, what we don't have in the year 2021 is what we absolutely should have, is honesty on the subject of race, first of all. The main problem with black people in the United States in 2021, unlike 1950, is the disintegration and the destruction brought upon it by the Democratic Party and the progressive left.
Okay, hold on.
But that is something you cannot confront.
No. Wait, hold on. Wait.
By the way, we're Democrats in the main.
Okay.
Democrats. Same ones who instituted Jim Crow. Same ones who instituted the policies in the South. Same ones who made up the Confederacy and created the Confederate flag. The same ones who instituted the same sort of racist policies today that are divisive and create dialectical materialism, which aims to turn this entire country into one great big Yugoslavia. Look at what they're doing on the southern border. Black people got more to be worried about there, and they got to be worried about some abstract notions of white supremacy.
Well, I don't agree with all what you said, but so what you're saying is it's the Democratic Party's fault about white supremacy is happening.
Sir, it is really hard to hear you. I mean, you're really muffled. Your other caller was correct. I got to really strain to listen. He was clear as a bell. I could hear, yes, I believe he's a racist, but nonetheless, he made some decent points, but I could hear it clear as a bell. It's very hard to hear you. You really are muffled.
All right. So yeah, we'll try to check the connections, and then we'll get back to you then. But I appreciate your calling in then. All right, folks. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to continue our conversation. Phone system, we have to check that out later. We're on live air. We can't do that right now. But going back to what I said, the two callers are upset. But when you define white supremacy, though, you can disagree with that all you want. That's no problem in disagreement. There's no problem of some old black guy who claims to, oh, I experienced racism. And then he basically, is attacked and he engaged in all kinds of discrimination. And then going to tell me and you, the younger generation, that white supremacy don't exist. Okay, well, what are you experiencing then? You can't call it by another name. You can't call it racism. Those terms basically it proves the point of what we've been saying in the black media about white supremacy itself. It proves the point. Now, of course, them talking about my phone system, I got to deal with that with the Blog Talk Radio people. But the thing about this is that let's focus on the facts. Okay? Let's focus on the facts. You have white men calling my show telling me white supremacy don't exist. Okay? That's not accurate. You know that. Okay? white privilege exists and white supremacy exists. You understand? There's a lot of things that the white dude can do that I can never about dream of doing. Let's stop playing games. See, the older black generation, they like to play this game because see, they've been beat down so much by white supremacy, and they will acknowledge racism. They would try to call it by what it is, and then they will say the Democrats did this and the Democrats did that. No, it is white supremacy. You see, you cannot put blame up on a political party because then that means that you undermine the real perpetrators. And that's what they wanted us to do. They want black people to basically remove themselves of hitting, of really identifying the real perpetrators. It's no Democrats or Republicans causing this. The ideology is white supremacy. Democrats and Republicans agree on the same thing, and they have done so when it relates to black folks. They have always agreed. Right now, we're asking for reparation or demanding, well, I won't say asking, demanding reparations. And before you know it, here's white people basically who have gotten all this wealth that was stolen. It's going to tell me and you that we don't deserve nothing. That's the problem. That's the issue. That's the basics of white supremacy. Telling me what I don't deserve. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the white boy, he can go out there and get money and loans and business. See, here we have to look at this. When we talked there about Sharon, Osbourne, and Sheryl Underwood, remember before I even took these people's calls, what was she had, what did we were discussing? That she had to do what? Control her emotions, hold back tears. Okay, she couldn't basically argue on the show and rant on like Sharon Osbourne did. Come on, she would have been fired by CBS. She would have been blackballed like Holly Robinson Pete. So when we talk there about white supremacy, we're talking about a system that is global. And you can have all kinds of white people calling my show up and disagreeing with that. And you can even have black people calling up. And most of the time, it's your older black people. But bottom line, it's the older black people from the civil rights generation. But bottom line, though, is that it exists. And so therefore, just like these business loans that they're giving out, the PPP loans, there has been a lot of black people who said they have been denied these PPP loans that was eligible. But we got white business corporation owners getting money, billions of dollars from the government, that they don't need. And the black struggling businesses, you call them and ask them, see, your application needed this and your application needed that. You see, and this is the problem. This is the issue. You see, so they're upset because we are identifying what white supremacy is about. They're upset with the black media because we're not basically letting it go. We're identifying finally, not been afraid to identify the white supremacists. We're identifying who the perpetrators are. And they even got these bootlicking Negroes who are basically on their side because they have been beat down, per se, so badly by them that now they're joining forces to attack their own children. That's the basics of white supremacy. Here we look at this whole thing again, and we talked there about what Sharon Osbourne said about even Julie Chen, what she said about even another white person, Sarah Gilbert, and Leah Remini. She made comments and racist and discriminatory comments against her own co-workers. And then people are calling me up and saying, I'm the problem. You see, they always have to go after the person who have to what? expose the facts, because it basically gets them to undermine and basically go into this lie that is, oh, it's not no white supremacy, it's you know who it is, it's these Democrats, it's these Republicans, that's who is doing it, so that then there's no blame, there's no individual blame. You see, it used to be a time that black people thought that racism exists in a vacuum. We had to think like that, because even if we shrug our shoulders up to a white person, we would be hung, we would be lynched, we would be shot and killed. Okay, now racism is more institutionalized in where the white supremacists will fire you. It's because, not because of real true of you breaking rules, it's because I'm white and I say so. And we pointed this out in the black media. Anytime that you basically try to argue the facts with these people, you are out the door. That's the reason why I was trying to explain to this white guy who called earlier that we want our reparations and demand our reparations, because we wouldn't have to, at that fact, work for you. This guy said, hey, you need to go back to Nigeria or Africa or whatever, you know? But you need to go back to Europe. The ideal is that nobody was over in this land before Native blacks and black original people from Africa, before America became this America, whatever it is, before Christopher Columbus ever thought about coming over here. Black people was here, bottom line. And that's an argument that we can take to the bank. Let's go ahead and get somebody else to join the firing call. Your area code 510. You're live with Lawyer Henderson. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hold on, area code. What's your name? Where you calling from? All right, go ahead. You're calling from where? Where are you calling from? All right, yeah, go ahead with your what you have to say, sir.
Well, I'm here with my friend. You said you're going to bring me on YouTube, and your people never contacted me. Are you scared that a white man's going to school you?
Dude, I'm still on live, dude. I cannot call or have nobody calling you while I'm doing a show. Okay? Can you wait until at least tomorrow?
You said you wanted to change your show to YouTube. I thought you had balls. Y'all think
Dude, okay, bye. What I'm not gonna do is argue with no white supremacists. That's what I'm not gonna do. I literally told this fool, I said, either me or my producers will contact you. Do not call into my show and when I'm doing a live and talk crap. All right, so again, so we have the white supremacists, and what they're doing is they're trying to rationalize their involvement here in society. You see, people are not afraid now to call out white supremacy, so they're getting very upset about it. You see, these white boys calling my show, they're calling all across the, they're calling from Canada, they're calling from other parts of the country. Dude, it is basically, it's just unbelievable. But anyway, they don't put no fear in my heart at all. Okay. Let me also go ahead and continue what I was talking about. No more phone calls for a while. We may do some more phone calls here later on. But you see, the white supremacists always want you to educate them. That's what Sharon Osbourne said. Educate me. I want you to educate me. You see, the white supremacists always try to play dumb. And that's the reason why I said black folks have to stop playing dumb to white supremacy, because they will then start playing dumb. That's the reason why they like, educate me. That's what Sharon Osbourne kept saying. educate me, you know. And Ozzy Osbourne, isn't that her husband who was eating bats? Wasn't he, what? That was her husband, I understand, was eating bats and all that type of, it's like, come on. Why do we basically have to then listen to a woman whose husband is eating bats? You see? So the white supremacists are all upset. They are all emotional. They basically now are calling all the black shows and stuff like that, and they're upset with us. You see, we've taken over the narrative. The white media does not have really any truth to stand on. You see, when this white guy went and shot those Asians, there are proof that white supremacy exists. Okay, was that a black man who did that? No. See, what we're doing is we're basically defining and we're showing the white supremacists the truth here. And they're upset. They're calling me, threatening me, and they're doing everything they can. You see, this is the type of show that we need so that the white supremacists can basically, they can basically vent out their feelings, I guess. Now they're getting so emotional that we're basically telling the truth here. Go ahead, area code 706. Are you one of Zachary's friends calling me up now? 706, go ahead.
No, sir. I hope you won't psychoanalyze me again. It's what you've been engaging in for the last few minutes. If I'm calling back, if you don't want me to call back, I'll just go. But I would like to ask you a couple of things, if you don't mind.
Okay, who is this, first and foremost?
I was just speaking to you a moment ago where I said I rejected your promise that white supremacy in 2021. I didn't say it didn't exist. Now, notice.
That's what you said. You said, no, sir. Hold on. Hold on, sir. Stop. Hold on. Stop. I told you.
You haven't responded to any argument. You're engaging in psychotherapy that like they did to Alexander Solomon.
All right.
They put him in a nut house.
They put him in.
It's going crazy.
Okay.
Instead of responding to coherent, cogent arguments, whether you agree with them or not.
Okay.
You haven't done it yet.
That's
now,
fine.
I'd again like to ask you for a concrete definition of the sort of white supremacy that you claim or imply seem to be warping the emotions of black people today. Would you please define it? You can take as long as you want or do it succinctly as you want, but can we at least establish a definition of what white supremacy is so we can then go from there perhaps?
No. Let me ask you a question before I answer your question, because this is my show, as I told you earlier. Why do you want me to do that? Do you want me to do that for your white? Do you want me to do that for your white friends? Do you want me to do that for your white friends? Are you trying to impress your white friends? Or what? Why are you wanting me to do that for? Okay. Are you trying to impress your white friends by asking me that question?
Designation of white supremacy that you have not clearly defined.
I have, sir. If you've been watching my show, sir, how long have you been listening? Sir, how long have you been listening to my show? How long? All right. Wait. You're not going to talk over me. All right. We're going to have a dialogue, or I'm going to have to hang up. Stop. I'm sorry. Stop. Hold on. Stop talking. Stop talking, or I'm going to hang up. I'm asking you a question, and I will answer your question. But you just keep rambling on. I can't even answer not one question. This is my show. This is my show, and I need you to basically be respectful. Number one, I'm the host. All right, you called me. And so therefore you wanted an answer. All right, let me answer. Okay. You said how do white supremacy, or you asked rather, how do white supremacy control black folks' emotions? Isn't that not your question? That's your. Okay, what did you ask?
Again, let me say it again. Slowly, I'll say it. I'll try not to be up. I'm not trying to be upset, but believe me, I'm not.
Okay.
It seemed that way. I am contentious. Yes, I am combative. Yes, but I'm not trying to be upset.
All right. Well, I just need you to hold it down and calm it down a little bit because
Please give me a definition of the sort of what you say is white supremacy that is controlling the emotions of black people today.
White.
I didn't say what you said.
Okay, sir, I'm giving you, sir. I'm giving you an example right now, sir. Sir, if you're listening to my show, if you're listening to my show, I'm giving you an example right now. If you're listening to my show, I'm giving you an example right now. I said, look at the.
An example would be good after the definition.
Okay, you, sir. See, this is the problem with a lot of black folks. Y'all want to play dumb. Y'all want to play dumb with the white supremacists. This is the reason why the white supremacists play dumb, because of black people like you. That's the reason why they play dumb. Okay, we know. Okay, white supremacy. It is those people. It's a group. They have a system that they have set up that basically they control, they run globally, that attacks a group of people who do not have the same thing. So when you are hired in that system, okay, they control your job, and basically because of their white skin, they're going to basically win. And I gave you an example of that when I told you that Sheryl Underwood had to hold her tears back, okay, while Sharon Osbourne went ranting. Why? Because she worked for a system. She worked for a network controlled by white people. And so therefore, if the Negro get out of line, then they will be fired. Okay? The ideal is that we have a lot of white supremacists who are out here not following the rules, not following the law. It's I'm white and I say so. The hell with your rights. Okay? That's one example of white supremacy. Now, you know, as you just said when you called me the first time, you said, hey, I experienced racism in the 1960s. And I said, okay. And then after that, you went off and said, now, I don't understand about you. Well, talking about white supremacy still exists. Yes, it does.
No, I asked for your definition, sir. I didn't say I didn't
Okay, so I gave you the definition now.
I never said that either. You're apparently not listening to me. I'm listening very carefully.
I heard what you said. You told me.
You just said what white supremacy is. I just heard you say it is a system in which black people have to bow and concede. Essentially, I'm summarizing it for you.
Okay, yeah, that's a good paraphrase. That's a good paraphrase.
All the time.
Sure.
You just said it's a system.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead. Oh, absolutely.
Cause black people to concede to white people's demands.
Absolutely. A problem so far?
Now, good. We have a starting point. Finally,
okay, gotcha.
Now can we debate it, sir?
Sure. All right. Now that you understand it, no, hold on. Are you in agreement of that definition?
I hope you understand. I am listening. I'm taking notes.
Okay, you're not in agreement with that definition, is what I'm asking.
I didn't say I was necessarily in disagreement or disagreement.
Okay, all right. So I gave you one of those definitions. So can we basically piggyback from that and go on to your question?
Absolutely.
All right. Are we ready to go on now?
Okay. So you're saying the system,
and
then you gave an example of a person on a television show.
Oh, that's no. I told you just one example, though. I said that's one example. I gave you one example. I'm talking about one example right now.
Am I correct? Am I fairly characterizing your argument?
Okay, no, I'm giving, as long as you understand that I just given you one example of white supremacy, we can move forward.
I
okay, so now that you understand that, we can move forward. Okay.
Give me some more, and then
Why do I have to give you more examples? We've been under this oppression for 465 years. What other examples do you need when you yourself said that you experienced it in the 1960s? It doesn't understand. Okay, so, all right, so if I can give you 10,000 examples and you know that, what is the point? What is your question? 465 years in county. What is your question?
I would imagine there would be literally thousands of examples of white supremacy to pick other than...
Man, sir, I only got, sir, I only got 25 minutes. I don't have time to give you thousands of examples of white supremacy. See, this is what this show is about. This is what this show is about. Black people calling up here playing dumb to white supremacy. This is exactly what I've been talking about. I've given you an example. Is it not? Well, you said it's not relevant right now. Is what you're saying? Is that what you said? All right, go ahead.
Let me say again what I just said.
Okay.
I know I said it clearly.
Sure.
I didn't say that. I said, sir, you gave me one example of white supremacy. Yes, let me keep citing it. The television show where one host disagreed with another, and the host said she was uncomfortable with the disagreement by the other host. So that's one you just gave. One example. Now I said, would you please give me what you think? I'm requesting. This is a request. I know it's your show.
Mm-hmm.
Would you please give me the 2 or 3 worst examples, the most dire manifestations of white supremacy that you can think of?
Man, after slavery, Jim Crow, what happened to us after Jim Crow, and you know, look at all of the what you call them, the black codes. You need me to give you an example of that? You really? Wasn't you a part of wasn't you a part of the civil rights generation? You were a part of the civil rights generation, right?
I'm really trying to have a dialogue. Honestly, I know you may think I'm not. I'm just trying to be judged.
Okay, no, you're out here questioning. Okay.
Do have consequences.
Sure.
I just don't throw out words without meaning something.
Okay.
When
Yeah.
people say that the things I listed earlier were examples of white supremacy, those are, as far as I'm concerned, sir, that made my life better and my family's life better. Those are positive attributes. They're not negative. But people are saying these positive attributes, like hard work, study, all that sort of, are examples of white supremacy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just gave. Yeah.
It's important that we make definitions and have an understanding what the other party actually means, other than just sloganeering and giving me bumper sticker.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I can agree with that. Okay. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. All right. So now that we established the examples, okay, you said that there's a lot of them examples in which I gave you a few, which you admitted I did. Now, what is your point and what is your question? Because I got to go on.
Okay. Here's my point, sir. Now, you brought up the history, but two examples you were spot on with, and I believe quite appropriate. Now we do have agreement on this.
Mm-hmm.
Slavery, number one.
Sure.
The whole institution of slavery that was established, inherited from the American colonies by the United States, and number two, particularly the Reconstruction era after the war between the states and the Supreme Court decision, Plessy versus Ferguson, and the subsequent segregation era that lasted as the jure legal reality from 1898 to 1954 with Brown versus Board of Education.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's you're.
In all of the history of mankind.
Okay.
In all of it, the only organized political and philosophical opposition to slavery, the only, again, combination of philosophical and political opposition to slavery as an institution was in Western civilization. Period. It has been eradicated. Chattel slavery no longer exists. Now, the issue of Jim Crow and what happened in the subsequent era, that took much longer to rectify. But it is
That's bull crap.
I know?
That's bull crap. That's no. No, you sound like one of Paneki's friends. No. You sound like one of Paneki's friends.
In the state of Illinois, dealing with the worst of it.
Really. Okay. All right. Okay. I got what you're saying. I know what your agenda is now. You know, I know what your agenda was.
You know my agenda, and I haven't even told you.
Okay.
I give you my opinion, so I don't think that constitutes you know me well up to what my agenda is. I'll be happy to tell you what it is.
Okay. No. I gotta go on. I gotta move on because you're holding up my show. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I don't think you're doing too well with me, sir. But you know, it's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you very much. All right. So, see, this is why Jason Black said you have to watch these old Negroes. These old Negroes will sell you out for a bucket of chicken and a piece of bubble gum. Okay? Like I said, it doesn't matter what system. You know, like I said, white supremacy comes with a different system every time that we try to fight it off. When we got out of slavery, they came up with Reconstruction or Jim Crow, whatever. It's always a different system. Okay, you went from that, then you went to civil rights. It's always a different thing with them. But but basically, what really remains and still remains is white supremacy. It doesn't matter what system they create. The black man is going to be at the bottom of it. You understand? They come with different ideas. Even when Haiti won in 1804, or they came back and said, "All right, here's the system that we're going to give you." Okay, you mean to tell me we kicked your ass, but you're going to tell me what the system going to be afterwards? You see, that's the issue here. Okay, that's what we've been talking about. Okay, here's the problem. These old black folks, these civil rights generation black folks, have been so defeated that they're trying to then rationalize with black folks, the youth that's coming after them, to rationalize. Well, see, this is what we did. Now, see what we did. We see this is how we fought. Now, no. That's what we're talking about here. Doesn't matter what y'all came in agreement with. See, I had no problem with Dr. King saying, talking, because at least Dr. King said, I feel like I'm leading my people into a burning house. But then it was the civil rights generation after him. It was your Jesse Jacksons and your Al Sharptons and all these Negroes who started to basically, again, to legitimize the white supremacists. And then what? Being bought into white supremacies and their laws. This is what we've been saying. It doesn't matter what kind of system these people come up with. It basically is the black man is on the bottom, the white man is on the top. Bottom line. Understand? Here, in a sense, we're talking about within that system, and I just gave him an example of a dark-skinned black woman or a black woman in general having to hold back her tears, because if she started to talk crazy to Sharon Osbourne, there would have been another black woman gone after Holly Pete. That basically what? That's a system. That's the execution of white supremacy. You basically have a lot of things going on where black people are fired for basically expressing to the white supremacists how they feel. I lost a lot of jobs. Why? Because I had to let the white supremacists know how I feel. You have black people who are holding back emotions, and they basically are wanting to commit suicide. Why? As I said in my last shows, not able to let the white supremacists know how they feel. That's a system. Okay? Anytime that a white supremacist can control the way you express your emotions, that's a system. And black people like to play dumb with that system. They like to then go along with these lies. Oh, it's the Democratic Party. Hell, they don't want to talk about Negroes need to go out and vote, and shit, we ain't going out there and vote. And then the Democrats said, no, it's the Republicans. See, they don't want talking about we shouldn't get no raises and taxes and keep our taxes low and all that. No, that's not what it is. You're buying into a system. That system is no different than Jim Crow, no different than slavery, no different than any other system that white folks came with us with. Dr. John Henry Clark taught us this before he passed away. He said that black people are too friendly. The Native Americans was too friendly with the white supremacists. That's the reason why they were able to conquer us. And you got Negroes who's true. No, now, what are you talking about? What white supremacists talking about now? Well, what I see true. Yeah, racism is this, but see, y'all Negroes, y'all need to go out there and y'all need to work hard. You see, as Dr. Claude Anderson taught us, the whole system basically denied the benign neglect policies. All the policies that white people put in place stopped us from getting power. That's the reason why they promoted integration more over than the civil rights leaders, because they can control black people more over. That's the reason why Dr. King said that he felt like he was, leading his people into a burning house. And Malcolm was saying, no, we want separation, because now we know that the white supremacists are going to try to control us. There's a documentary right now on YouTube that talks about white supremacy. There's a lot of information out there about white supremacy, how it is. You even got Negro Jim Clyburn. Okay, now, yeah, see, they were able to come into my office and steal my laptop. And before that, he was singing this Can We All Get Along song. Now, he himself, as a black man in Congress, had to what? Recognize white supremacy. When the Capitol attacks, wanting these white boys to debate, they want to debate me, that's nothing, that's not going to solve anything. And then he have his homeboys calling me up, oh, don't see, you're afraid to go live with us, blah, 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 blah. We're not debating that, we don't, I'm wasting my time debating a white supremacist because he has a whole system. You understand? Okay? If he don't like something that's going on, he has the FBI, he has the state police, he has the government, he has the Justice Department, he has these retired police officers who are snatching up our kids and killing them for their organs. There is a lot of things in place, and it's a system. And so when white folks come to you, they'll say, oh, you got to follow the law, but they don't follow the law. That's a system. You understand? Black people are basically only volunteers in the system. I mean, you might get paid a salary, but still, you're under a system. And so I shouldn't have to debate these old black people here now. See what you're doing? You're making white daddy mad now. Shoot, yeah. Y'all out there talking all that white supremacy stuff. Shoot, see, y'all, you gotta stop all that, G. Hey, gee. Let me call up my friend and they'll give you a definition. We went out there to do it. See, it's a whole system. So what we're saying here is that Sheryl Underwood was crying because she knew you don't be talking back to white mommy like that. Because before you know it, the white supremacists who control the network, okay, they basically then is going to say, okay, you're fired. Just like Holly Robertson Pete said, she was gone after Sharon Osbourne said what? She sounded like she's ghetto. She was off the show then. You understand? See, you can't play dumb with this stuff. That's what a lot of black people like to do. Shoot, what racism is? No, racism is y'all not giving us the right to vote now. Shoot. No, that's not racism. You see, we cannot look at that. There's a whole system here. You understand? White people are able to get loans on their signatures. I talked there earlier before we came on. Me and my co-producer were talking about how there's discrimination in the PPP loans where they giving white businesses monies that they don't even need. You know what I'm saying? Boeing, for instance, billions of dollars. Other corporations, Harvard, other people getting billions of dollars they don't need. It's the black businesses that need that money. And as soon as they look and say, well, what race you are? Oh, this is black. Oh, well, see, your PPP loan was denied. Well, why? Well, hell, see, you don't qualify. Okay? That's a whole system that is denying my application. Okay? Stop up here. You know, that's the reason why I don't like white people to call into my show. Because they're going to try to rationalize a system that they're benefiting from. It doesn't do me any good to debate them. Doesn't do me a good at all. Well, see, y'all need to go back to Africa. Y'all need to go back to Nigeria. See, y'all came over here and blah, blah, blah. And you see, y'all need to go on and do all that. See, the white supremacist is always talking with irrational. The white dude who shot and killed these 8 Asians, he said, oh, I had a bad day. What is he doing? He's setting himself up to say, oh, I'm crazy. So put me in a psychiatric ward or whatever and let me do my time there. You see? That's a whole system. He can go into a courtroom and just like Rittenhouse. What did he do? You know what I'm saying? All of these, he shot 2 white guys who was defending black people. And the white supremacists came out, well, we're not going to give him a high bond. We're not going to put him in jail because he violated this particular, he was not supposed to lead a state and he violated that, but we don't care about that. We're going to just give him one more chance. See, that's a system. Area code 469. Go ahead. You're live with Lawyer Henderson. Area code 469, you here? Okay. Area code 469, are you here? All right. Got people playing on the phone and stuff. Now, typically, I give out your number when you're playing on the phone. Okay. So that's the whole system. I don't need, like I said earlier, I don't need these white boys calling, oh, no, y'all should come on here and debate me now. Shit. You talk about white supremacy. We white guys, we go through things too now. We don't want to hear what you go through. We don't care about what you go through. You have a whole system that have your back. Black people do not have that same system. All right, let's try it again. Area code 469, can you hear me? Yeah, go ahead.
Why is it such a big deal with white folks?
So what? Hello?
Why is it such a big deal with white folks?
No, I'm talking about white supremacy.
Yeah, but everything you talk about is mainly toward white people.
Oh. All right, explain. Okay. What all of I'm talking about white people? Explain. Go ahead.
Well, it just seems like that. It's like that black folks own everything. It's like they feel like that everything is owed to them. And I feel like that we work hard, so why you guys can't work hard?
Oh, so you're saying that black people should be working hard. It's not a system against them, that they're just not working hard enough. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
And I follow a lot, and I think that you make a lot of sense on some things. But some of your shows I don't care for because it seems like it's attacking the white race.
Oh. So it's one of these women. All right. So listen. All right. So What have I basically said that you disagree with?
It's just that every time I watch this show, it's basically just talking about like the white folks are just basically on a higher level than black people. And it's so nerve-wracking.
Okay. So every time you watch my show, you're saying that I basically talk about okay, now she hangs up. Okay. All right, so that's what we have to do all the time. We got to get people who do not have a rationale for their conversation. You, all right, so family, our discussion today has been so much. See, this is why the talk shows don't like talking about racism. This is why they don't want. See, when you talk about the facts, you see it leads into a conversation that the white supremacists don't want you to talk about. And so you get black people coming up there, see, y'all. See, I think y'all should be working hard. See, y'all out here talking about white people. See, y'all should be working hard. Hey, hey, y'all the one we our own work enemy. See, we the one out there talking about holding gun. See, hey, y'all, we should get our act together. Okay, but see, we don't look at the system though that caused those things. Now, my topic though was how the white supremacists control your emotions. That emotions, of course, is basically talking specifically about what you cannot do while you're in front of the white supremacists. If you disagree that you cannot, basically, it's certain things that you can do. All right, you can argue with them on TV and still have a job. Okay, prove that. Prove it. Isn't like I said, Holly Robinson Peete gone? Why was she gone? Because, you know what I'm saying, it is a protection. Even a white dude said this. You know what I'm saying? The white person is protected. Okay? I'm just picking back off what a white guy said on his own show. So you got white people, basically, not these white supremacists who called me up, but you got other white people, and they might basically be trying to play the game or whatever, and that's fine. But see, we have to basically start admitting that white supremacy exists so that we can move on. You understand? All right. This one chick, she calling up with this mammy babbling. And that's what a lot of these older black women like to do. Not all older, but certain types of black women who they put on these TV shows. You understand? You know what I'm saying? They have to indulge in mammy babble. And then they have to start calling the white supremacists their friends. Okay? Because see, this is controlling your emotions. Now y'all go back and listen to the show so that y'all can really analyze what we're saying here. Okay? All right, the conversations that we don't want to have here again, in this country. The discrimination that we don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about white supremacy because we get all edge. It was Dr. Khalid Muhammad who taught us that, hell, that's the reason why we have to have all black people sometimes in an audience. Because if you invite white people specifically, you're going to be worried about what the white folks are thinking about. You see, that itself is a system of white supremacy. You basically having to watch out what you say so it don't offend your white co-workers. You can't go out to a George Floyd rally because you're afraid that your white boss is going to see you talking about black power. You see, the Black Lives Matter thing, even though that the organizations have been robbing us using the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and others, it basically is saying to us, okay, well, we're going to keep using the death of black folks so that we can get this money. That's a part of white supremacy right there. Because who did all of these donors give this money to? Did they give it to the black organizations? No. They gave it to the white people who was basically out there talking about, oh, we're fighting for Black Lives Matter. You see, it is never ever in a situation of whether black people can control their own organizations, their own thing. They have to always want you to multiculturalize it. Why? Because nothing cannot be black at all. That's a system of white supremacy. Okay? As Dr. Claude Anderson said, okay, there's some, you basically have a Jewish organization. That's not too Jewish. Asian people, that's not too Asian. Or black people, oh, see, you're talking about black folk. Oh, see, you're just being black and you're being divisive. And see, nigga, you getting on my nerves. See, you talking about white supremacy. Now calm down now. You see, that's what we're talking about. That's the reason why black people are on the bottom. Because it basically it frightens people to talk about blackness. Okay? Dr. Claude Anderson was getting attacked because he was talking about blackness. He was talking about us building up our own economic system and controlling our own thing. See, that basically is a threat to the white supremacists because they know that we can control our own things. So we don't have to hear them say, oh, see, y'all need to go back to Africa. No, hell, we're going to stay here because we can build up our own stuff. And we show that example. We showed that example, okay, during the Jim Crow eras. We showed that example that we can do that. Okay. Well, I'd like to thank all of y'all for this hot topic today. Man, y'all really brought it to me tonight. Join me Sunday. We're going to be trying to do the black business as well, giving you the opportunity to talk about your black business as well. What kind of products you sell. We're going to try to work on that. If not this Sunday, maybe next Tuesday. Next Thursday or something. The Lori Henderson podcast show. We're out. Oh man, topic today was fire. They said, let's see. All right, computer, come on.